Once we've completed the document and the design sections, we're ready to deploy. Deployment is what actually goes through the API to push the data out to GitHub for the data layer specifications, to your analytics platform for configuration, and also to the tag manager that you're using. So when I'm ready to create a new build, once I've completed the previous steps, I'll hit New Build, and I can describe the build, whatever types of items that I'm pushing out. Choose the tag manager, which will typically only have one option since you've already selected that at the property level. That will either be a single option of Adobe Launch or a single option of Google Tag Manager. Select my available ecosystem and create build. From there, I can choose the environment that I'm working in, and I can choose one at a time, development, staging, or production, which I've previously configured. So I'm going to choose my development environment. And here I can select to deploy to my tag manager, which in this case will send the information out to Adobe Launch for configuration. My data destination, which in this case will send the configuration for the Adobe Analytics variables on the admin side, and my data layer docs. And if I haven't connected GitHub, then I'll get a note here that a GitHub connection is required in order to deploy successfully to my data layer docs. So I'll select the items that I choose. Typically, it would be all three. If you don't have a GitHub connection, the data layer docs are optional. And then I would hit Deploy Build. And once a build successfully deploys, I'll see a green check mark next to each of the pieces that deployed successfully. If I see a red X, I'll know that there was an issue with the connection, the API, or another issue, and I might see a specific error message. But for everything that finishes successfully, I'll see a green check mark. And if I want to see everything that went out in a build, I can click on the eye icon, and that will show all of the items that went out. And I can filter by item type. So if I hit variable assignment, I can see everything that was associated with a particular variable. Since I'm in the Adobe Analytics ecosystem, I see EVARs and events. In the Google Analytics ecosystem, that would be dimensions and metrics. And if I'm looking at tracking items, these are the friendly names for the items deployed within the Apollo system. I can also filter by the last updated. I can search for specific items and filter them. So I can look through this to see what's gone out. I can also edit the name of my build after the fact. So if I didn't want to call this new launch setup, I could call this something else if I needed to change the name for descriptive purposes. But once I have completed my deployment, then I can go into my tag manager and make sure that everything looks good. If I'm connected to Adobe Analytics, I can check that the admin configuration looks as I expect. And for the data layer docs, I can check that GitHub looks as I expect.